Example C, we have to be a little bit careful when we state our restrictions because we have to remember all the divide parts need to have restrictions. So this is a divide, this is a divide, this is a divide. So our restrictions need to come from all those parts. Okay, so I'm still going to factor first, and then I'm going to state my restrictions, and I'm also at the same time going to flip my fractions, so my divide by a fraction the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to factor out my common factor in the numerator here. So I have 3b as my common factor. And I'm left with a minus 2. This is all going to end up being one big fraction again. So I've got my denominator is going to be 2. That's a difference of squares, so it's going to factor into a plus b, a minus b. Since that divide's going to flip that fraction, all those parts are going to end up in the numerator. So maybe I'll just do this in a different color. So we're going to end up with a factor of 6. The a squared plus 2ab minus 3b squared. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 3, add to positive 2. So that's going to be plus 3 minus 1. So I'm going to end up with a plus 3b, a minus b. Okay, so that represents this expression here. I'm going to then do the numerator in the denominator. So I'm going to factor my greatest common factor. It's going to be 3. I've got an a squared. I've also got a b squared. Okay, and then what's left behind is going to be in 1a and then minus 2 when I divide that out. Okay, so I've got that done. I'm going to state my restrictions. So I'm going to start with my binomial restrictions. A plus b is not equal to 0, which I could also write as a not equal to negative b, or b not equal to negative a. I have a minus b is not equal to 0, which can be written as a not equal to b. I have a not equal to positive 2. A is not equal to 0 from the single factor here, and then lastly b is not equal to 0 as well from this single factor here. Okay, so it looks like I got all my restrictions. Oh, I haven't got my restriction. I forgot my restrictions up here. I have to remember these ones. Okay, those ones were my original divide, so I have to do those as well. So I have a plus 3b is not equal to 0, or a is not equal to 3b, or a over 3 is not equal to b. Okay, so this is good enough, although this is equivalent to that. Okay, same with this one here. These are pretty much all the same restriction. We could just leave it like that though if we want. Okay, same with these ones here. These ones are all the same restrictions. Okay, so there's just rearrangements of the same restriction. Okay, so I've got my restrictions. Now I'm going to start my canceling. I'm going to look for common factors and cancel them out. So a minus 2's cancel. I've got an a minus b canceling. I've got a common factor of 3 here and here. Looks like I got a common factor of 2. I'm going to save that one. I'm just going to rewrite this now because I'm starting to get loose track of things. So we want to make sure that we've organized our work here. So b, there's a 6, which I'm going to rewrite that 6 for, first of all, because it's hard to differentiate from the b, but also I have a factor of 2 in the denominator. Okay, so I have an a plus 3b. Looks like there's nothing common there. And in the denominator, I'm still left with a 2. I still have an a plus b. I still have an a squared b squared. I'm going to start canceling again. I've got common 2's. It looks like I have 1b on top and bottom. And then it looks like that's about it. So my final answer, I have 3a plus 3b in the numerator. In the denominator, it looks like I have a squared, 1b, and then a plus b.